Hello, everyone. My presentation is on Christopher Columbus, who was the author for our Week 16 readings. The first question, who was Christopher Columbus? What I found was little is known of Columbus's early life. The vast majority of scholars, citing Columbus's Testament of 1498 and archival documents from Genoa and Savona, believe that he was born in Genoa to a Christian household. However, it has been claimed that he was a converted Jew or that he was born in Spain, Portugal, or elsewhere. Columbus was the eldest son of Domenico Colombo, a Genoese wool worker and merchant, and Susanna Fontanarossa, his wife. His career as a seaman began effectively in the Portuguese merchant marine. After surviving a shipwreck off Cape St. Vincent at the southwestern point of Portugal in 1476, he based himself in Lisbon together with his brother Bartholomew. Both were employed as chart makers, but Columbus was principally a seagoing entrepreneur. In 1477, he sailed to Iceland and Ireland with the merchant marine, and in 1478, he was buying sugar in Madeira as an agent for the Genoese firm of Centurioni. In 1479, he met and married Filipa Perestrello y Moniz, a member of an impoverished noble Portuguese family. And here we have a picture which shows Columbus in front of the King and Queen of Spain, and he was requesting financing for his excursions to the Americas. I also selected a quote from our week 16 reading, and that quote reads, "I am so friendly with the king of that country," and that's speaking of the Americas and the Native Americans that he encountered, "so friendly with the king of that country that he was proud to call me his brother and hold me as such. Even should he change his mind and wish to quarrel with my men, neither he nor his subjects know what arms are, nor wear clothes, as I have said. They are the most timid people in the world, so that only the men remaining there could destroy the whole region, and run no risk if they know how to behave themselves properly." Another quote that I encountered in my research was, "The Indians are so naive and so free with their possessions that no one who has not witnessed them would believe it. When you ask for something they have, they never say no. To the contrary, they offer to share with anyone. They would make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want." And I selected those quotes because I think they do a good job of illustrating that even though Columbus is primarily known as the explorer who discovered the Americas, he was also clearly an opportunist, since he recognized that the Native Americans' naivety and lack of armaments presented an ideal opportunity for conquest, and that would result in both the expansion of the Kingdom of Spain as well as increase his own personal power and prestige. So, Christopher Columbus was many things: husband, father, merchant, mariner, explorer, and more, but maybe not as well known how he contributed to subjugating the Native Americans. As far as his time, Columbus was born sometime before October 31st, 1451, and he died on May 20th, 1506. Where was he from? Although it's not certain, it's generally believed that Columbus was born in Genoa, Italy, which from the pictures that I uncovered in doing the research a few of which are shown here. Genoa, Italy seems like it would be a beautiful place to visit indeed. So what did Columbus do? For this, I will allow you to enjoy a video from YouTube, from the History Channel. So you can enjoy that while you're enjoying my video.
August 1492. Italian mariner Christopher Columbus prepares to sail west from southern Spain. He's convinced he'll discover a new and lucrative sea route to the Orient, home to abundant silk, tea, and spices. Born in 1451 in Italy, Columbus first learned to sail when he was 14. At that time, Europeans traditionally traded with the Orient by going over land. Columbus wanted to try something different. Sailing west to reach the Orient was a dream of 15th century navigators, a dream that could bring fame and fortune. To take on this new adventure, Columbus knew he needed funding. It took him 6 long years to convince Spanish King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella to bankroll his venture. On August 3, 1492, Columbus left Spain with 87 men aboard 3 vessels, the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. 29 days later, on October 12th, Columbus made landfall in the Caribbean, on an island that is part of the Bahamas today. He called the island San Salvador. He began exploring the surrounding islands, including Cuba and Hispaniola. Columbus returned to Spain in March 1493, with a ship filled with kidnapped natives, exotic plants, and a small amount of gold. He was hailed a hero, and a delighted Ferdinand and Isabella continued to bankroll Columbus's voyages. Between 1493 and 1504, he made 3 more transatlantic trips to the Caribbean, coming back each time with fewer treasures. Columbus took his last trip to the Caribbean in 1504. When he returned at age 53, he was in poor health and nearly blind. Columbus died in Spain on May 20th, 1506, at the age of 55. Though he never found a sea route to the Orient, his pioneering voyages opened a new world to European exploration and expansion.
All right, so as you heard in the video, between 1492 and 1503, Columbus made 4 trips from Spain to the Americas and back. He first set out on the evening of August 3rd, 1492, departing from Palos de la Frontera with 3 ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Santa Clara, which was also nicknamed the Nina, which means girl, after her owner Juan Niño of Moguer. To answer the question, why did he write, I found a quote taken from Columbus himself, which reads, quote, "In order from there to take my course and sail so far that I would reach the Indies, and give your Highness's message to those princes, and thus carry out that which you had commanded me to do. And for this purpose I thought of writing on this whole voyage, very diligently, all that I would do and see and experience, as will be seen further along. Also, my lord princes, besides writing down each night whatever I experienced during the day, and each day what I sailed during the night, I intend to make a new sailing chart." So from that, we can see that Columbus wrote in large part as a means of journaling his voyage for the king and the queen who were bankrolling his excursions, and that in large part would be used to illustrate that the king and queen weren't wasting their money on providing him the means to travel back and forth. How did his text become a masterpiece of world literature? I wouldn't necessarily say that his letters are examples of masterpieces of world literature, but they are nevertheless very valuable historical documents because they provide important details which journal how the Americas came to be colonized by Europeans. So I think they have prominence not because of the fact that they are examples of fantastic literature, but more that they are historically very important documents. Lastly, as far as a modern day figure who I would compare to Columbus, Columbus gained fame as an explorer at a time when the Western Hemisphere of the world was relatively undiscovered. And since that's no longer the case, I would say he has no modern day comparison if he's being considered solely from the standpoint of being an explorer. However, a comparison to a world leader such as Vladimir Putin is reasonable, since, like Columbus, Putin seeks opportunities to expand his nation's territory and wealth via invasion of foreign lands. And that can be said of many world leaders, including our own, not just Putin, but Russia seems to be constantly attempting to increase their territory and invade other lands. So he was the one that came first to mind. And with that said, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and good luck, everyone, with the rest of your scholastic careers, and enjoy your summer breaks.